Hi everybody. Happy Monday. How are you guys doing? Is anyone else as tired as I am? I've really got that Monday tiredness. I'm gonna burn some sage for us. Can you guys see me? I didn't even ask. Can you hear me? Oh, I see Cindy Clark said my Monday is hot and muggy. My Monday is hot and muggy too. I do not like this humidity. It's quite humid where we are. Hi guys. Alright, I'm burning some sage. Let's release this humidity into the smoke. It feels so good. I know I'm dropping it on my paper. I'll put that back over the bowl. So how are you guys doing today? Do we have any new people? Does everyone here know where you are? If you don't know where you are, hi, welcome to our class content processing session. This is a monthly session that we do here in Crystal Masters where you guys have the opportunity to share your questions in the Facebook group ahead of time, and then Karen and I answer them. So I answer them live here, and Karen also helps answer your questions in the feed. So basically how this works is I'm going to work my way through the questions that were pre-submitted, and whatever extra time we have at the end of the day or at the end of the live. So I'm going to take this off because it is really, really hot. And I'm wearing this hat. This hat is making me hot too, but my hair is so greasy. I haven't washed it in days. So I'm going to answer your questions that have been pre-submitted, and then we'll answer any questions at the end of the class, and Karen will also be helping you in the feed. Mermaid Crystal says, I never know where I am. Same. It's really good to see you guys, so thank you for coming to hang out for a bit to get your questions answered. We got some really good questions. You want me to take it off? It's so dirty. It's so greasy. It's not so bad. Okay, you're right. That's not so bad. It's really greasy in the back, though. You think it's cute? I know. I do love it. I love my hat. It's just kind of hot. All right, so let's get into it. The first question is from Jan E. Hoffmeister, and they said, I was wearing my ring, which I love, 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 but I do so much work around the house that I kept getting it wet. So afraid to continually wear it. Is there a reason it can't get really wet? My wedding ring never comes off, but I know diamonds are hard. I don't want to damage my ring. Thank you for your advice. Love to have a necklace. So we are working on the necklace. I just heard back from the team actually that they're working on that. So that should be coming. As for your ring, you can get it wet. So I wouldn't leave it submerged in water for long periods at a time, but if you're just like washing your hands or doing some chores and stuff and it gets a little bit wet, it's not a huge deal. Azurite is a very soft mineral. So like it can be a little bit crumbly, but these are polished cabochons, so it's not really going to crumble. It's polished, so the water shouldn't really seep through it. So for the most part, you're going to be fine, Jan. So don't worry too much about that. It's a good question though. I'm sure other people were wondering too. Not so bad. Okay, thank you. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. Jessica Sparks said, I have a question about increasing the spin. Generally, I assume increasing the spin is a positive thing that creates optimism, happiness, etc. But the anecdote about Herkimer Diamond and Moldavite being too much has me wondering. I set up my increase the spin quad on the full moon and have been feeling more anxious since then. Could that be a coincidence? Or did I just make the spin too high, like Athena's friend who had a shipment of Herkimers? Should I move the grid away from places I usually sit? I think this is a really, really great question, and it's something we don't talk about too much. I do believe that high vibrational crystals can cause anxiety. Especially if you're already prone to that. I personally think that so what high vibrational crystals do is they kind of get you moving, like they get your energy levels up, and it's just like sometimes if your energy levels are up, you could that could be cause anxious or like jittery feelings, you know? So it's always really important to make sure you're grounding too. I'm not saying the crystals are dangerous. I'm not saying like don't keep them. I'm just saying make sure you're doing your grounding exercises as well, because usually having anxiety means you're not grounded enough. You're not really like working with that root chakra. Also, I don't think they increase the spin. I don't know where you have it set up, but you asked if you should move it away from where you sit. I don't think it needs to be in a place where you're relaxing. And some people here might disagree. I know Athena teaches that she doesn't like to have quartz in her bedroom because she can't sleep, and that's because the energy is so high. So sometimes nice low energy, like nice calm energy, is what you want. So that would be lepidolite, any grounding crystals, garnet, tourmaline. Those are really great to have when you're trying to relax. Increase the spin is for when you want to get your energy moving. You want your energy field to go woo 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 woo, but you don't always need to woo 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 woo, you know? So I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are. My suggestion would be to try moving it away from where you're relaxing. I have a very tiny apartment, so I get ready in my bathroom primarily. That's where I put on my makeup and everything. So I keep quartz in there to help energize me in the morning. And just wherever you want to have that energy, maybe next to your desk at work, or just where you want your levels picked up. Kimberly said, yes, I agree. I've had to pull double term crystals out of my pocket at time. Yeah, it creates that kind of vortex of energy. Mermaid Crystal said, it's my fault. I am running around and doing manual labor stuff. It looks cool now, like a raw azurite instead of Oh, I think you're answering a different question, but good. No, don't apologize, Kathleen. It's good to see you. I hope you have a really great dinner. If that's how I feel about it, you guys can let me know if you disagree. I'd be interested in hearing your other answers. April's question. I need more information on balancing yin and yang energy with my crystal jewelry. Sometimes I feel that my black tourmaline makes me too grounded and I feel tired. Other times I feel too floaty when wearing a high vibe stone with a smaller tumbled grounding stone in my pocket. Any ideas of how to use my crystal jewelry more effectively? So I feel like this question kind of does go hand in hand with the question we just had. I think, April, that you need to play around with different combinations. Having a blend of both high upper chakra and lower chakra stones is usually the way to go. You just want to make sure that you're always activating those lower chakras. So that would be sacral, solar plexus, and root chakra. That's how we stay on the ground. You know, if you're only activating your upper chakras, then you are going to get that floaty, dizzy, anxious. And then if you're too grounded, you might not feel much joy or happiness. So a good balance is the key. And I don't know what that looks like for you. Some people need more of one or the other. So I think you should play around with your combinations and see how you feel. Aw, you're welcome, Teresa Jolly. Congratulations, Teresa Jolly won the pink tourmaline bracelet in our live earlier today. So I'm really excited to send that home to you, Teresa. Megan Easton's question. I want to piggyback off of April's question about jewelry. Yin and yang, giving and receiving. I understand that if you're working in healthcare or something of the like, you'd want to be on that sending hand, but I've heard other things related to balancing the yin and yang as well as receiving the energy that I cannot remember. It may have been from someone who partakes in higher magic. This is only an assumption from hearing her speak, but to land this plane, is there anything else besides the obvious to think about with jewelry? How does Athena decide what ring to wear on what hand? And are there other factors we haven't discussed in class? I think that's also personal, Megan. So if I know that it's going to be a particularly like stressful day, no matter where I'm going, sometimes I will. Let me just say this first. I think that there is validity in the sending and receiving hands, of course. I'm not discounting that. But personally, I also think that if a crystal is in your energy field, you are receiving the energy regardless. So I mean, you have to be intentional about it. But for instance, I have my labradorite and peridot ring on my right hand, but so that would technically be sending that energy out. So sending energy of intention setting and magic and abundance out. But since it's touching my finger, it's in my energy field, so I feel like I'm getting the energy either way. I mean, of course, being intentional about putting one on your left hand specifically for you, that makes a difference as well. But I do think to an extent you're getting that energy anyway. And I think anyone in your vicinity is also probably picking up on that energy too. But it all really depends on what your intentions are. So if you feel like the world is in a really heavy place, which unfortunately it is, you might want to start wearing something loving or calming on your right hand to kind of help send that energy out into the world. Or if you know you're going to be like with your sister who's going through a rough time, like maybe you'll be intentional about what you put on your right hand to send that energy to her too. So that's my answer, is just being very intentional about it. And I think it's a personal thing. It changes from person to person. Okay, I'm just reading to make sure. All right, so Willow Fire Raven said, I had to watch the taped version of class and have paused at the beginning of Q&A. I really enjoyed the material on Azurite, but what happened to Malachite? I have been called to it for years and was really looking forward to that deeper dive. Azurite was the main focus of the class because that was the main crystal that we were working with. We've been working on a chakra every month, and this month is third eye. And Athena talked mostly about the Azurite because she wanted to show you how to use it for visioning. So we didn't take the deeper dive into Malachite because that was the primary focus. We only had so much time. But if you're interested in learning about Malachite, I can definitely add that to our ideas for classes and see what we can do. I don't have all of the juicy Athena information, but there is a really great write-up of Malachite in your online classroom as well. But I'll definitely see about whether we can work that into an upcoming class too. Kara Weaver said, Kara said that she had a vision of like a third eye headpiece, and she posted the really, really beautiful picture. So it wasn't specifically a question. It was just mainly she can't let the idea go. So I think it's a beautiful idea. I know Emily Butler responded to your comment, and I also do remember she's asked for it a few times. And we have Karen and I have spoken with our team about it. So I'm not sure if headpieces are in the works or what that delay is, but we have all talked about it and we all think it's a fun idea. So I'm gonna send this design to them as well too, because I think it's really, really lovely. And it's our product team is always so inspired by your requests. They really, really love it. Okay, and then the last question is from Emily Butler. So she said, I don't have to read the whole question, but basically she was asking if can your third eye chakra be open if your lower chakras are closed? And she was basically just asking, do the chakras kind of depend on each other to open? Like, can you have one open and another blocked, or can it be partially blocked? And to answer your question, yes. I think chakras can be I think they can be partially blocked. I think you can use your third eye even if your root chakra is blocked. I don't think it's the best idea because like I said earlier, I think grounding is really, really important in everything we do. I think grounding work is important and having those lower chakras activated. I think if you work too much in your upper chakras and your third eye without getting that grounding in, it can lead to anxiety, as we talked about. It can lead to paranoia. It'll create the stresses and anxieties. I mean, some people manage to do it just fine. You know, again, it's a balancing act for everyone. But it is possible, but I recommend keeping those lower chakras activated too. And I do think that chakras can be partially blocked, like not fully blocked, but yeah, I think they can be partial where maybe they're not working as strongly as they could be. So I think that was a really, really great question. And that was it for the pre-submitted questions. So I'm wondering if you guys have any questions here in the feed. So let's see. I know Karen has been answering them. Christine said, I never get to make these lives. I'm so excited. Hello, beautiful souls. It's so good to see you, Christine. I'm glad you made it. Let's see. It would be stunning, right? Nah, it was a really great idea for that headpiece. I don't see... Did Cleopatra use malachite eyeliner for better vision? I don't know if she used it for better vision. I don't know if it was purely a cosmetic thing or if she was intentionally using malachite because of the properties. But she did use malachite eyeliner and lapis lazuli. She had it grounded up and turned it into a paste, and she would use that as her makeup. If you've never read Crystal Lore, which we actually have a copy of it right here. Actually, how about we read it? I'll read. Athena did a chapter on Egypt, and she did talk about Cleopatra in here. So let's see. Crystals of Egypt. Malachite is page 42. I love that we can still get Athena's wisdom even when she's not here. Okay. So it says, for malachite, this is the chapter on malachite right there. Certainly Cleopatra would have valued malachite for its healing and diplomatic properties, which could have enhanced her personal and political power. She and many Egyptians prized malachite, from the Greek malakos, or soft, a name derived from its reputation as an ideal carving material. Let's see. The hallmark signature of malachite lies in its unique markings, a marbled swirl of concentric rings and round eyes. Some see shifting desert winds and landscapes when they gaze upon the deep green magic of malachite, while others see the planets of the solar system aloft in their heavenly dance, moving in synchronous rhythms, apart yet together. Still others link malachite to the peacock of ancient Greek mythology and Hera, the wife of Zeus, each circle representing one of the eyes of Argus, protecting her from afar. The well-known King Solomon mines along the Red Sea yielded copper and this beautiful healing ore, and its uses in the ancient times were varied. Many Egyptian tomb paintings reveal malachite powder ground into the paint, but perhaps the most famous Egyptian use of malachite was more superficial in nature. Cleopatra's famous thick green line of malachite eyeliner, thought to ensure her health, longevity, and safety. The use of powdered malachite is discouraged today, as it is known to have toxic properties if inhaled or ingested, and coal liner, like the ones used in Cleopatra's time, were often made of a galena-based compound containing lead. In ancient times, while mineral makeup was widely used, it could actually have proven dangerous over time to the woman wearing it. From healing to sacred ceremony, from burial practices to immortality rituals, the ancient Egyptians are well known for their appreciation and cultivation of crystal legends, mythology, and tradition. Even now, scientists excavate the Sahara Desert in search of confirmation of the origins of Libyan gold tektite. While Cleopatra serves as a physical anchor for so much of our fascination with ancient Egypt, the roots of her power extend back to ancient Sumer and the origins of matriarchy on our planet that predate her by thousands of years. And though ancient civilizations are often thought as remedial, parochial, or limited in their knowledge or access to technology, much about Egypt defies logic, reason, or linear timelines of development. So, that's some information on malachite for you and its uses in ancient Egypt. This is Athena's book, Crystal Lore, Legends, and Myths. It's really, really, really interesting. Oh, thank you, Deborah. That's a sweet thing to say. I do love reading. I can hear your audiobooks now. Oh, that is an interesting thought. I've kind of thought about it because I do love reading. I don't know, but I hate to hear my own voice. Let me know if you guys would be interested in maybe me doing like a little audio file of books or something. I think that could be kind of fun. Not of Athena's books, but I don't know, like a novel or something. I always wondered if those are llamas on the shelf behind you. No, those are actually lion statues. Right there. There's a gold and a silver lion statue because Athena is a Leo. Let's see. Today's magical mail, I had purchased 4 azurine crystals. I remember it was for a grid. Does anyone remember which type of grid it should be used with? Malachite is for auric protection or cleansing and just protection and keeping people out of your bubble. So it may have been for some sort of a protection grid. This is the Crystal Lore book. Very, very interesting. Okay, I don't really see any other questions about the content. So is there anything else that you guys want to know about Crystal Masters or things that we've learned about this year? I'd be happy to go into it. But if not, we can probably wrap this up. As much as I love hanging out with you, you get used to hearing yourself after you hear it enough. I just really don't like it. Mayans also use malachite in burials and altars too. That's interesting. Thank you, Cindy. You guys would like that? Interesting. Don't play yourself back to hear it. Yeah, when I go live with you guys, like this for instance, I don't really notice it. But when we have to pre-record something, like Sabrina and I pre-recorded an SGTV video recently, and that was so weird. It's so much harder. I prefer going live than I do pre-recording. Does sunstone have quartz in it? Yes. Sunstone is a feldspar material, and feldspar does have microcrystalline quartz in it. That's a great question. Can a sunstone wand be used to charge a grid? It absolutely can. Are we able to send our books in for Athena to sign for us? Unfortunately, not right now, Brady. But she did post, so I guess I can tell you guys, we're doing a gift with purchase soon. I'm not sure exactly when, but we are doing a gift with purchase soon where she is signing bookmarks to send out in the orders. So keep an eye out for that, for a chance to get her autograph to put in your book. Oh, you keep telling her to, wait, are you talking about me or about somebody else? To volunteer and do talking books for the blind. I didn't know that was a thing. I would totally be down to do that. I'll look into that for sure. I don't know if you were talking about telling someone else. I may have missed one of your comments. But that's really, really beautiful. I would love to do that. Did you talk about the sun charging the malachite chrysocolla? Are there any other stones that would love sun charging? I'm not sure exactly what you mean, Karina. I didn't get a question about that, but I saw Karen just commented. I think they all would. I agree. I think if you want more of a solar energy, like if you want the more masculine kind of giving, leadership, creativity, then you would want to solar charge your stones. And if you want to charge them with lunar energy, which is more of the emotional wellness and empathy and receptivity, then you charge them under the moon. Okay. All right. So I think we're good to go. Breezy Ray with Sabrina said, I have a question I forgot to add to the Facebook group. How long should one keep in the sun in order for the azurite to be activated? I don't think it needs to be there for very long. honestly, like, even if I have a sunbeam right here, even if I just sit it there and intentionally say that I want the sun energy in it, like, it doesn't take very long. In my personal opinion, I think some people like to leave their stuff out all day or all night, depending on what they're charging it with. Karina George, yes. So some stones do fade in the sun, but it's over time. If you put your fluorite generator in the sun for 5 minutes, it's not going to fade. That's if you leave it in direct sunlight over time, it can potentially fade. But as I was saying, I don't think it doesn't need very long, in my opinion. She said from 12 to 1 p.m. in the sun, so about an hour. I must have missed that. I don't know what I was doing. There were a lot of product requests that day in class, so I was kind of just like over there emailing the team. Not if I'm just seeing me. Oh, you're welcome, Megan. Could someone leave a list of stones that fade in the class page? We could, but again, like, Athena really teaches that they don't really fade over time. Like, it takes a long time. I think we did. Let me look. I think we have made something like that in the past. All right. I don't see any more direct related questions, so I'm going to sign off. We're almost done anyway. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I hope if you had a question, you got it answered. And I'll see you very soon. So tomorrow, don't forget, tomorrow is your exclusive live gemstone sale. So Athena and I will be going live at 3 p.m. Pacific time to show you your exclusive items. And I hope you guys have so much fun with that. It's going to be a blast. Even if you're not shopping, just come hang out. It's going to be a small group, just Soul Shift and Crystal Masters. And we're just going to have some fun together. So I hope I will see you guys there. Bye.